the Scenario Podcast. We are back, and we're gonna have to hold off on this.
Did we do a show last week?
No, we didn't, because we was anticipating this. What we supposed to be doing today.
Oh,
but it's coming though, y'all. Don't worry about it. We black. We old school black.
yeah, yeah.
We old school black. That's the key.
Well, we getting close.
Yeah. We get into that point where you just have to trust our heart.
We are almost old school young. Or are we old school young now?
Oh, we definitely old school young now.
All right, so we old school young now. Because like when you're in your 30s, you like fake old. Like you feel old, but you really don't know what it means to feel old yet. Yeah. All right.
When you go, I know now when I go out and I ain't been out in a while actually, and you don't know any of their music at all.
Yeah. Or anybody.
Oh, that's the key too. If you don't know anybody, you're like, wow. I used to come to this bar all the time, and I would know the bartender.
I only go to events now because of that. Like I won't go to places that are just like well, that's not true. I only go to random places with other people. But
you're in a group insulated within a group of people that you already there with.
Sometimes I just go to places that I know is just gonna be
just a nice vibe and everything.
There's no chance I can die. Like zero chance.
Is like where is the places that people are getting shot now?
Well, it depends on where you live, obviously.
Yeah. Like, what is there the shooting club now still?
Well, every city has you can get shot at.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it's been kind of low key though. The shootings have kind of, I think they've tapered a little bit.
It's not like I got shot 2 streets over from my mom's house yesterday.
No. I mean at the club.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't know. Again,
yeah,
I'm too far outside the loop to know.
But I mean, social media kind of keeps us plugged in a little bit of what's kind of happening.
I just use social media to watch people get bad sports takes and get my entertainment. That's all I do. This has been the best part of the year for bad sports takes too.
I can see that.
You got football going on. You got a lot of people that's like sneak watching football. Like 2019, I mean, it's been the year where people been coming back, but they ain't been making no big deal out of it. Or like the people coming back with the status where I'm watching, but I'm still with Cap. I'm like, oh, okay.
You ain't still with no Cap.
Okay. I mean, you still are in your mind.
Watch baseball all year, and then they start talking about who's going to win the World Series.
because obviously they know everything about baseball.
And I'd be like, where you been since April? You haven't posted anything about what's going on here. But, of course, the main thing is Black folks' New Year's Day when we're recording this. New Year's week. It's like New Year's week.
It's a long-term situation for it. So it's basketball season, y'all.
The NBA tip-off days, whatever. And I found that this year is like one of the years where I got to ask the question a little differently. Like, yo, who you rolling with? Who's your team/player this year? Because it ain't even about your team anymore. It's about who's your player.
Yeah, it's way more about who the player is now.
Oh, without a doubt.
And did LeBron change that? Or were we like that kind of before?
Nah, LeBron was like the first star that was like changing teams that had like a following. I think that's a LeBron thing.
But I mean, it was people that were Kobe fans, and I guarantee they would have left the Lakers if they. Well, no, some people were long-term Lakers fans.
You got long-term Laker fans. That's a different thing.
And if he went to the Clippers, they'd be like, "Fuck that dude."
There wasn't. But then you would have people that have been like, "I'm fucking with the Clippers now too." Like there's a lot of.
So it could have been a paradigm shift.
It could have been, but he stayed in one place.
Yeah.
Even though he's about to be a Bull, which is gonna really complicate stuff for me because I ain't like Kobe.
No, that would have. Did Chicago really even want that?
Yeah, they would have absolutely wanted that.
No, but
are you kidding me?
I mean, but the streets was been like, man, we down. But those don't get caught after the games.
Kobe's.
We would rob you. They were like, dude, you got an hour grace period to get out of the West Side.
So like, there's no Kobe in the NBA right now. There's nothing like Kobe in the NBA right now.
There's not. More people just hate.
Well, LeBron, people hate LeBron.
But it's a different hate that people have for Kobe.
Kobe came in. Kobe has a different type of hate from people our generation, but people underneath us adore him like God.
I agree.
So it's like a thing. Like he's just like a whole other thing. I've come to recognize that there's like a cutoff. Like Kobe is the millennial Jordan.
Yes. Okay. Because he could.
Even though there are some older dudes that rock with him too, I think that them is just the dudes that like his style. But I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't rock with him off the court. I just like the way he balls." Like I'm like, okay, I can live with that.
People would probably could say that about Jordan. If Jordan was still around now, people probably could say the same thing about him. Like,
absolutely, you would know too much. Michael Jordan couldn't be Michael Jordan in this day.
Oh my, he was messy during then though.
Yeah,
it's just that you just didn't know. You had to really read the paper to find out his messiness.
Mike was back in them times when you could still pay off a a reporter to not do something. Or people was like, oh, I can't do anything because I'm
or
going
you want to get invited
access.
to Mike's house for the party every year.
No, you wasn't getting that. But Mike wasn't doing that. Mike's notoriously not doing that. But it's like, it's like Mike, back in the day and age, there was only like 5 people that was covering a team. If you messed up, you was getting shut out and your access was gone. Now you'll have 30 people covering a team now. Like, it's crazy.
Because you had your local paper. In Chicago, it would be 2. So you had the Sun-Times and the Tribune. What, the Sports Illustrated probably person on the scene, on the beat?
Yeah, SI, ESPN, New York Times. New York Times cover everybody.
And then LA Times maybe.
Nah, LA
not even LA Times.
Nah, because it wasn't that far. But
Washington Post maybe?
Perhaps the Post, yeah.
So I'm proving what you're saying, 5 people.
Yeah, like tops. Like, it wasn't even like it was back then. And, of course, you had your local TV broadcasters and stuff like that, too. But now, I mean, guys, these cats got to be more careful in the NBA than ever now.
That's why LeBron actually, man, he may be the greatest player of all time. Just because if he comes out of his career unscathed.
Now, if you're talking about,
I'm not talking about even skill. I'm just talking about.
If you're just talking about the whole game,
navigate this game.
I'm talking about the game.
Yeah, that's
the whole game.
The whole game.
Well, who's the greatest player of all time as far as navigating the game?
LeBron James is right now.
Over Will Chamberlain?
Yeah, but he put himself out there though.
But he accomplished it for many years without it being a thing.
Fair enough. Now, I guess maybe you have to do this. How you do the greatest
Magic Johnson?
Yes.
No, well,
because
the game caught up to him and made him retire, though.
but he escaped age.
Yeah,
too.
But he can't be number 1 because he had the.
He's in the discussion though.
He could be top 10 just for what he did in the 80s.
They said when Magic was coming to party, he would just take everybody's girl.
Yeah, it's Magic Johnson.
Yeah. We may need to revisit. People have been asking us to revisit the greatest players of all time podcast we did, one of the first ones. I might have to put that back up.
Oh, you mean the greatest players of all time?
Players. Remember, they're players.
I would be interested in doing a bracket of the greatest players, athletes, the greatest players of all time, bringing in some.
So we leaving out actors then?
Yeah, just athletes, players, just players. Yes.
With an ER.
Yes.
Not an A.
Yes, like Derek Jeter and like Magic Johnson and Muhammad Ali.
Ooh.
You know, cats like that. Muhammad Ali was a killer in his time.
Nation of Islam aside.
People don't know that. Ali was a killer out here.
Ali would literally take your girl, literally.
Jack Johnson.
Oh, Jack Johnson was taking white women over state lines.
Jack Johnson
when it was
Jack Johnson might be the most habitual line stepper of all time.
Literally. When knowing it, he could die.
Like, he was driving past Harriet Tubman like, hey, going to get some more white women. Hey, it's the champ.
And it's the thing though, is that back then black people didn't even admonish him for being with a white woman. It's like, do your thing.
They was like, that's a fool nigga right there.
But he doing it for us.
Yeah, so
he whooping white men ass and then taking 8 women.
This is gonna be the 2-on-2 season though for the NBA. It's gonna be interesting. This is the most wide open NBA season I've ever seen. This is like feels like an NFL MLB season almost.
Where everybody, at the beginning of the season, like literally everyone has.
Everybody's got a chance
except for the Jets and the Dolphins this year.
Well, and the Redskins and the Bengals. And
this is the this is the low end of like teams. I feel like NFL like in a while.
You're talking about like a separation of
bad,
classes.
Just like just bad, where like you have 6 teams that are just like horrible.
Yeah, there's some bad teams in the league this year.
And maybe it's more top heavy. Obviously, it's got to be more top heavy because of that, right?
Not really, no.
So it's just
you
more.
You got 2 undefeated teams. I mean, there's just a lot of teams. There's 5-1, 2-3.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
There's just a lot of teams that's 1-5.
Yeah, the NBA. Well, there's a lot of teams that are bad. I got off the top, like the Falcons are 1-6. You know what I'm saying?
I know Julio like, damn, I got my check though.
Yeah, Julio
got my paper though.
He's straight.
He's straight. I got my paper.
The Jets are bad. The Dolphins are bad. The Bengals are bad. Those are all really bad teams. The Redskins are really bad. The Falcons are bad. The Falcons feel like the type of bad where they could like still end up like 5-11 and like start winning late and
messing up somebody's playoff situation.
Like be the team you don't want to play like the last 5 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like a team like that. But yeah, I mean, you got the good.
Your 49ers are balling right now.
Niners on top of the world with the Patriots right now. You got the Bills that's 5-1. You got the Ravens 5-2. But see, the AFC North is ass though.
Just like our bracket, just like our our playoffs were. Our playoffs. Remember, we were like their ass too.
Oh yeah,
For the blackest cities as well.
They are the Ravens are 5-2. Then the Browns are 2-4. The Steelers are 2-4, and the Bengals are 0-7. Like the Ravens are about to clinch that thing in about 3 weeks if they keep winning.
And that is fucking insane that they do.
Hey,
Lamar, would that be the earliest clinching?
No, I mean, like I'm sure the Patriots clinched pretty early the year they went 16-0.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the AFC East.
Yeah, AFC East.
But yeah. I mean, meanwhile, speaking of which, and we'll talk a little bit more about NFL a little bit later. Lamar Jackson's putting on for the people.
Yeah, he is.
He might really be the most for the culture squad out here.
Yeah, no, he's doing it. Look, I'm proud to see him doing it, man. I'm glad.
He got them plaits out his head.
Thank you.
Looking like a real guy.
Right.
It's gonna be
looking real good. Finally.
Chicago might be in bad place though.
Remember they told him to train for Cam Newton?
Nah, they was just talking about the places that he could potentially be a fit after the season.
Somebody was saying that at work today.
They were reading the Yahoo article wrong. See,
okay.
that's what be happening. People be half reading shit,
and I didn't get a chance to Google it.
That's when you know. That's when you know that people be reading headlines. And, shit, Bear's about to get Cam Newton. Like that article.
I got a little tingling in my soul when I heard about it. I was like, I need to Google this first just to make sure. And I was like, this can't be true. Then I forgot not to Google it. I came straight over here and I was like,
it makes sense. We talked about it. I saw that article, and actually I've been talking about that a couple weeks ago. It makes sense for places for him to go. That would be one to go.
But what they want to give up to get Cam?
Not much.
You don't think so?
No. Cam can't even throw the ball 15 yards right now.
That's true.
I mean, second, third round pick.
I don't know. Cam may not do well in Chicago.
You do better than Mitch Trubisky.
No, I'm talking about in the culture. I'm talking about the folks. He come out there looking like Howdy Doody.
Listen, they a real quarterback in Chicago. They gonna lift him up like the baby Jesus.
Like Simba and Lion King.
When you come from a legacy of Eric Kramer, Cade McNown,
what was the one dude? Was it
Rick Meyer?
What was the dude when they went to the playoffs? Was it Miller?
Jim Miller.
That's what I'm thinking about. Where he was just ass. I think they for like 89 yards one game and they won because their defense was that trill.
Yeah, like when you get a Cam Newton, you're like, oh my God, hell yeah, let's go. They would rally.
I guess Cutler.
Yeah, I mean, Jay Cutler's probably the second best quarterback they've ever had
in history.
Yeah.
Damn, you going McMahon than him?
Just because McMahon won.
Yeah. Damn.
Not that he didn't
Jay Cutler's the second best.
Not that he didn't have Walter Payton and all that defense too.
The fucking best defense of all time.
I mean, your daughter probably could have been the game-winning quarterback on them Bears, but take it away from him. Yeah. I won't take it away from him. Yeah, that's won. He won. He's the most famous one. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I don't know, man. Let's what these emails hitting for.
Yeah, man. Let's jump into them, man. First up, let me jump in here. I wasn't prepared. First one comes from PG County. PG County says, hey, nice work on the last few episodes. When is the next episode going to be popping up for the Blackest of Cities? I'm still surprised and upset that that DC lost out to Chicago in the first round. Hey, shout out to DC, man. It was a lot. We had a lot of debates the day after that when we was at the Smoke Lounge. A lot of debates on that. But he continues on to say, what do you all think about the college football season this year so far? Do you think that these different ideas of the college players in California getting paid is going to be a dynamic changer, particularly in college football and in basketball and in Olympic sports? Peace.
So do I think that more like in regards like more people are going to come to play in Chicago? I mean, play in the California as
right, yeah, like is this a dynamic game changer?
I don't know. We have to see. I mean, it certainly is it certainly changes kind of the way that things, you know what I'm saying, have been before, but you know, things like that tend to happen and it doesn't stay stagnant for long. You know what I mean? Like those schools aren't going to let all that talent leave and not get involved in it. I think it's been a good college football season though.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty good.
I mean, you got 6 undefeated teams, and you know, I'm saying you in the pretty midway through the second half of the season. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting to see how Alabama does with Tua being out. I mean, say he's only out for a week, but man, it's 2 ankle injuries in 2 years for him, you know. So I mean, I don't know. I think Trevor Lawrence been a little overrated though at Clemson.
I think he been reading his own clippings too, though.
Travis Etienne
is the savior,
is the man down there,
and they receivers too.
Yeah, they got hella talent. I mean, Clemson got no lack of talent, but I just hope that I can get Alabama versus Oklahoma in the playoffs.
Oh, just for the drama of it.
Just for the drama of it. That's all I want.
And it's got to be like at the Sugar Bowl or something. No, like because I think the Chick-fil-A Bowl I think gets one of the playoff games. It's got to be in the South though, like in Georgia, like close to Alabama, and where it would just be pandemonium.
I just want for it to just be crazy this year. Like I want that matchup. I don't know if I want it in the national championship game, but I want that matchup. I want
at least in the semifinals.
Yeah, something like that. I want Clemson and Ohio State on the other side of it.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, that's just the matchup. I want to see the Ohio State or Clemson play Alabama.
So you're just trying to see 75-70 game because that's what the score is going to be if them two play on their side. Because they both putting up numbers on cats.
Ohio State is rolling cats up.
Yeah. Like they are like punishing cats like.
Yeah, they rolling cats up like bad. Like real bad. So
But the California thing though, man, like so do you think this you kind of want to wait, is it a wait
and see
kind
of thing? I gotta see. The only thing I ever want to have come out of any of this is the NCAA football starts getting made on PlayStation. That's all I really care about.
Dude, yeah.
That's all I care about. PlayStation 5 coming out next winter.
Maybe we can get an NCAA football in 2021.
Maybe I can get that. That's all I want.
My thing is, why don't they just pay every player $100?
Because they can't pay them right now.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I guess they can't make that deal because then that's a slippery slope. And then everybody be like, "Well, I'm gonna pay them $200 each, and I'm only gonna get them to do this." You know, so
I mean, it's just flat up against the law. So I mean, you know what I'm saying.
It's not against the laws; it's against the NCAA.
Well, I mean, the laws of the governing body of the teams.
But how is? I mean, my thing is you think the NCAA is going to start cracking down on these California teams?
They can't. Not if it's law in the
But the NCAA can say that. Well, you can't play. They can still sanction you, NCAA, and say you can't play against our teams.
The NCAA is in its latter days. The way that it's constructed right now, the NCAA is coming towards either you're gonna get down or you're gonna lay down.
Because they've been talking about some of the Power 5 conference have been talking about we just start our own league and shit.
They'll be just fine. In football,
yeah.
The problem is that you got whole athletic departments
that are involved with Olympic sports and basketball.
Exactly,
and it's a lot of smaller schools like your VCUs and all them that are viable for basketball, but don't have a football program.
Yeah, I mean they're not necessarily. I mean, and also the NCAA is the one that holds the keys to the advertising revenue right now too, which is the problem. I mean, the biggest media package in the world. I mean, the Super Bowl is the biggest event, but the Final Four has the biggest media package.
Yeah, you got more games to bid
advertising dollars. Then the advertising dollars in the Final Four is crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't as simple as just saying, "Hey, we up, we done with it." Because Title IX also plays a big role in tying all that together too. Like if you start paying one athlete, you got to pay everybody. And that's where the problem comes across. Can you compensate a major revenue generator like the Clemson football program and then give their lacrosse team the same money or their women's basketball team? I don't know what Clemson women's basketball did last year, but, you know,
I don't know.
I got to say, I don't think that they probably should be getting as much money as the national champions in football. So that's where the complication comes over. I'm never one to say it's right. I think that if you create dollars, you should be able to get it. That's why I got the hell out of terrestrial radio, because you create dollars and you get some of it, but still the cat's getting fat off of your work. You know what I'm saying? So like, no, there's plenty of things like that, but I don't know. We'll see. But it's an interesting turn of events, and I think either it's something that falls in the night and don't make no noise, or it's the first domino to drop in a whole rally is to come.
All right, next up, this one comes from WCW. That's what we call this, WCW.
Like World Championship Wrestling?
Yes, he's as you received in the email.
Okay.
I know you all mentioned in a past podcast you all were looking to do some wrestling podcasts or something along those nature.
Okay.
I look forward to that coming down the pipeline soon. But I wanted to see you all's thoughts on wrestling in general. Who are you all's favorite wrestlers coming up as kids? And if you all watch wrestling currently now or lately, who are you kind of feeling within wrestling?
Like as a kid?
Yeah.
I mean, Hulk Hogan when I was a kid.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan is
You know what I mean?
standard bearer.
Yeah, I mean Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Legion of Doom. Like as a kid, you know what I mean?
When did you become a Ric Flair fan? Because there's a
Later.
There's a change as a black man where you start being like, this Ric Flair motherfucker is the one.
See, Ric Flair was Ric Flair Macho Man. I got to put in that same.
But I'm saying, but it's a change.
But like Ric Flair was, I didn't watch NWA.
Okay.
So I mean, it didn't. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, Vince McMahon's product catered to me.
And because he's more nationally brand.
Oh yeah, but I mean Hulk Hogan and guys like that. Like the only dude I knew over in NWA, WCW was Sting. And I wasn't really hip to him, you know what I'm saying? Like people would come over from one promotion to WWF, and then that's when they would start existing to me. I mean, to this day, I'll say I'm still a WWF fan as opposed to a pro wrestling fan. I don't watch any other promotion.
Brands or anything.
Yeah, and when WWF ain't good, I just don't watch. It ain't good right now, and I don't watch
it.
You know, and then after that, I mean, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker and. I was like 13 when the Attitude Era happened with Stone Cold. No, I mean, I was the perfect demographic, you know what I'm saying, for
right
that.
down the pipeline.
Oh, my God. DX, Stone Cold, and The Rock, and even cats like Val Venus and China.
Is he dead?
No, he's good.
Somebody like that.
The NWO and Goldberg. That's when I started watching WCW because my grandfather liked WCW, but I liked WWF.
Your grandfather was at WCW, you said?
Yeah, but we only had one TV with cable on it.
So you had to watch.
So the Monday Night Wars, we was going back and forth.
Oh, y'all would flip back and forth.
Yeah, as best as we could. So, yeah, but yeah, a lot of cats I like. I mean, shit, Triple H. I had a lot of guys.
Yeah, so I was into all those guys too, man. But it was a point where I became a Ric Flair dude. I think it was when he actually came to WWF.
Like 93.
Yeah, when you got to really see him out there in the streets. And you like, then when he left again, you like, hey, man, where'd he go?
It was like he just left the earth.
Because he was only there like, a year, right? Or something crazy at first.
He was a year. Time? He's like the champion.
And it was like, oh, no, man, where'd he go?
Yo, that Ric Flair was fly, too.
Yes, he was. People don't understand, man.
When Ric Flair was champ and Bret Hart was Intercontinental Champion, WWF was fly. That was after Hogan.
Yep.
And it was before Austin
and it's before the Attitude Era. And it's before those kind of dead years.
It was
before those dead years.
Yeah, it was that pre-New Generation because New Generation was when Hitman was the champion. And it was like, is this going to work? Is he going to be able to carry the company?
Hitman
wasn't really a crossover. Like, if you like wrestling, hell yeah. Bret was that guy. But, it wasn't until Shawn got the belt and then, Austin was Intercontinental Champion. And then eventually they butted heads. That's when shit took off.
Yeah, and the Attitude Era kicked off. And then, because the bad years of those years, the Nation Domination and all those the dead years they always call
it. That was Shawn Michaels and Austin and all of that.
But it was some dead years in between there before DX and all that.
That was when Hitman was the champion. That was
Hitman
94, 95.
Okay, so those are the dead years.
Because Flair was there in 92 or 93.
And then, so 94, 95 is those dead years.
Yeah.
Before it really kicked back up.
Yeah, because in 96 is when you had Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in that Iron Man match.
Yep.
And then the year after that was when Bret Hart fought Austin at WrestleMania. And then the year after that was when Austin beat Michaels in 97. And then the shit just went crazy after that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because then you had Undertaker and Kane and The Rock and
right. Mankind.
Yeah, Mankind, and you had Triple H on the come up and DX, all that was happening. Chris Jericho, you had all that shit happening at one time.
Yeah, that's right.
It was Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit.
Kurt Angle was my motherfucker.
Eddie Guerrero was coming.
Guerrero.
You had the Big Show showed up then.
Bradshaw was coming up.
That was with Ron Simmons.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when he went solo.
That was after that.
Yeah, but
that was 2001 that he went solo.
When he went solo.
Yeah, that was after Austin and all of that, because that was the time you're thinking about, right when all that shit was happening is when SmackDown first came out. So SmackDown came out in 99.
Okay.
So 99, 2000. I think actually Bradshaw's championship run was 04. We'll have Ray and Rodney. Who are going to be hosting the wrestling show,
and we'll do a show with them introducing.
Yeah. We'll do a proper deep dive into it because they gonna really know.
Yeah, We're bringing that show though, folks. So.
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming. All this is happening like real soon. We're gonna roll. We're gonna be hitting y'all with new shows every week.
Yeah, and it's gonna y'all be like, damn, these motherfuckers is doing a lot.
Like
of
it's
shit.
gonna be a new show coming every week, and like on multiple platforms. Like it's gonna be crazy around here real soon. Keep your heads up for that.
So let's jump in our topics, man.
All right, man. So let's get into our WTFWs
Early.
because we got a triple header this week of them right now. I'm gonna let you kick this one off because you sent this first one to me about the white Tupac.
Oh man, so I see this article, and I'm like, nah, that ain't say Tupac robbed somewhere. And I was like, is this a joke thing? No, it's on FoxNews.com. Tupac Shakur arrested in Tennessee for meth possession, threatening officers with a knife, and robbery. So it turns out Tupac Shakur isn't dead. So this is white people being snarky. Not any white people. I was saying entire great white listeners. I don't mean that. I mean more the conservative white people. Because this is snarky at the beginning. Turns out Tupac Shakur isn't dead after all. He's just been living in Tennessee. A man named Tupac A. Shakur, which is Amaru, which is his real name. Tupac's real name. He basically got his own name. Who, despite the name, is not to be confused with the long-dead rap legend, was arrested this weekend after allegedly threatening police with a knife. He's 40 years old. Then I'm going to see if I think he changed his name. He found a syringe. Shakur says the same name and even middle initial as the late rapper who was gunned down. It's Shakur as the 40-year-old's official name. It is unclear if he legally changed his name at some point or if in what remarkable incidents that he happened to give him the name at birth.
Time out.
He wasn't given the name at birth. He changed.
So he just magically decided he was Tupac. So I got a homeboy who decided that he was Tupac once upon a time too. Here's the difference.
Oh, really?
Wilson. He just decided to live his life as Tupac.
Okay. So he literally.
He just decided that he was Tupac.
He just woke up and they said, I'm Tupac.
Yes. His line name is Machiavelli.
Oh, shit.
He's Tupac. So I've seen this before, albeit without meth in a white person.
Right.
Vanilla Tupac is a whole different thing, though.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
That sounds like a bullshit Coke flavor.
Hold on. That was Machiavelli.
Yeah.
He just woke up like, I'm Tupac now.
He's Tupac. Ask him. Ask him if he's Tupac.
Text this fool.
Don't do it right now.
Okay, no, I'm gonna mess with him.
But, yeah.
So, but the white Tupac, though, like, so what date and time?
Can we back up for a second?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there was a white Tupac?
Like, for real?
Yes. Like, take everything Tupac did and put a white person in their place. What would they have been on?
Or they're still doing rap, everything, but just a white guy.
Just a white person.
He got his ass kicked a long time ago. We had never got to the point where we had a real Tupac. He wouldn't even have made Digital Underground. He would have, you know what? He would have stayed writing poetry.
The white Tupac.
And what's funny is,
what would he have been rapping about?
What's funny is, it actually could have been a white Tupac because Tupac isn't a black Afrocentric name. It comes from Tupac Amaru Shakur, who was a warrior. Tupac Amaru, who was a warrior in Mexico. He was a Mexican revolutionary during when the conquistadors and stuff were trying to come take over Mexico. He was a ruler. So it could have been a hippie white person that named their kid Tupac.
This is him. This is him.
He's
right
40
here.
though. Tupac. Damn. No, you know what? Because Tupac would be like 46 or 40. Damn. And his parents could have not even known about this. But his last name Shakur though. That's too. Yeah. If it was just Tupac Amaru.
What does Conspiracy Brother think about this? Tune in Conspiracy. Bring out Conspiracy Brother. I want to know his thoughts.
Oh, Conspiracy Brother would think he was trying to get some checks of like, and we'll talk about this later. How someone else is trying to get checks in a wild way. He may have had a long scheme. You know what? Now I got the plot. He's around other meth heads, right?
Okay. They do tend to run together.
And he's running around with them. If he changes his name to Tupac, maybe he gets free drugs. and he gets more leniency on not paying his drug dealers.
Because they think Tupac back.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like, hey man, Tupac coming over to get this. Tupac is no, for real, his name is Tupac. Word.
Tupac is coming.
Oh man, he coming through. Cool. I'm gonna give him some free meth. Cause your name Tupac. You know, instead of giving me $20, throw me 10. So it's maybe a long scheme for that.
Speaking of meth, meth is having a big week this week where this is from the Philadelphia area from just a couple of days ago. Former meth user living in Upper Darby halfway house, so this is in Philly, orders uranium to pose with it on Facebook.
Do they have the race of this person? And do they have a picture of it? I know they don't, but I'm just...
When I hear meth,
You already know what it is.
I just...
I've seen some black people that have done meth, though, which is crazy. I know that's like finding a unicorn in the stable.
That's ridiculous. That's like a white running back. We'll talk about that later. Sources confirm that a man living in a halfway house in Upper Darby ordered uranium because he thought it'd be cool to pose with it on Facebook. Sources say the man ordered the uranium from a company in Michigan. Pause. Can you go on Amazon real quick and see if you can find uranium?
I'm going to see that now. Let's see.
I just need to know.
I'm just going to put in, where do I buy uranium from?
Maybe not do that. You'll get flagged.
It's true.
Let's not look for this.
Let's not look for it at all. Cause
Let's stay away from this.
And it's on your router, too. So that
Yeah. But anyway, the only reason they found this was because it was a halfway house and they intercept mail and check it. So if somebody like me, not saying I would, wanted to buy some uranium and pose with it on Instagram, because I don't like Facebook pictures, purely Facebook pictures. That's crass as far as I'm concerned. I could do this apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? Are we making too much about gun control laws? Maybe we need to have nuclear substance laws where you can't just buy these things?
Shout out to my little brother who sent me this kid who did his photo shoot and bought a tank for his rap album's photo shoot.
Like No Limit?
No, like a real tank.
Hey, the tank is real.
When is that show come on? When is that show?
No Limit when they come to town?
Yeah.
It's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. You already got your tickets, right?
Not yet. No, I'm giving my brothers a couple more days, and if they don't come with it, I'm just going to get it.
Hold on, here it is. This is his album cover right here.
He bought that?
Yeah, or he did. I don't know what he did.
Everybody, do yourself a favor right now. Go on Spotify, and how do I say his name?
His name is Gnar.
Gnar.
The album is called Fire Hazard. Now I don't know if he bought this or if he
did he Photoshop himself on
No,
this?
this is him on this.
Did he fly across seas to do an album cover?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you even find? This is an old like World War II tank.
Oh, I was at Jefferson Barracks on Sunday, which is the huge military burial ground here in St. Louis. And they got all sorts of tanks and stuff out there next at the barracks. So I guess if you were crazy enough, you could hop the fence and break onto a military base
do a photo shoot?
And do a photo shoot. Again, we just heard about somebody ordering uranium to a halfway house, so let's not rule anything out.
I thought you need security clearance to buy a uranium, like a thing of like, okay, these people can buy uranium.
Who do we blame for this? Tony Stark? Is he making people think things are possible? And what does uranium look like when you pose with it? Like if I'm on Facebook right now and I'm scrolling, I'm like, oh shit, he got some uranium. That's what's up. Like I wouldn't even recognize it.
I'm just Googling.
He gonna end up like Dr. Manhattan. You better quit playing.
Okay, so this looks like a rock.
Can you imagine if we had a meth head as Dr. Manhattan? Just turning everything into
meth objects.
Yes.
Like I'm finna smoke it.
I'm about to turn this dog into some meth. Poof.
Let's smoke it.
Third leg of WTFW of the week. I'll just read this headline and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave the state out.
Okay.
Fisherman lost at sea for 14 days, claims he was sexually assaulted by mermaids. He was lost at sea for 14 days off the coast of Florida. Florida man.
Yeah, Florida man.
And he's now been rescued by the United States Coast Guard earlier this week. Alvin McCallister is his name. White man, surprisingly.
Looks like he's a relative of Kevin McCallister from Home
Or
Alone.
Willie Nelson.
No, I'm saying from Home Alone.
Well, he looks like Willie Nelson right there.
Oh.
Like the exact
He
same.
may be the grandfather of Kevin
He's
McCallister.
72 years old, and he was found on a small rocky islet. An islet. It's like a little island. 200 miles off the nearest coastline, where he shipwrecked 2 weeks ago and managed to survive. He survived off seagulls, mussels, and sea urchins.
And sea urchins. He's...
Surprisingly, people are not worried about his life. Doctors are not worried about him dying. But he said he's probably suffering from intense hallucinations, probably caused by dehydration and toxins of the unidentified mussels he consumed. And he said that in that, he said he cited in graphic detail how he was forced to perform oral sex on fish-like genitals of these aquatic creatures, not only unto the women, but also the men, the mermen.
So everybody had a piece of him.
He got a train ran on him on an islet. He was at all-you-can-eat seagull night and got a train ran on him.
And they kept him.
Jesus Christ.
It's, man, Florida, man.
Quite a week for WTFWs.
Yeah,
Thank you, world, for what they
hit y'all
brought.
hard with those.
I'm going to let you lead into these first few topics of the evening. That's not fair. We've talked about 8 things already, but we just need to touch on these things too. This maybe is, I'm just going to just lead it in. You can take it from there. Nigerian lost in space. Let's just let that sit there for a second. Just let it marinate. Let it marinate.
Yes.
Nigerian lost in space.
Everyone, I hope other people are Googling with us.
This happened.
Yes.
This happened. So here's the ask. Here's my ask about this. Is this an attempt at the greatest Nigerian scheme of all time?
Yes. But they're getting extra. This is one of those that.
First of all, I'd like to say this. This is one of the stories that I wish was true.
Yeah. But no, the people are using it for a scam.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's not real.
No, it's not real.
But it is because it's the greatest Nigerian scam of all time.
Because it's like, if you got this, it's so unbelievable, you may partly believe it. You're like, man, damn, man, somebody lost in space for real?
Like, these is the type of things where you just get a whole bunch of people lined up behind a bullshit, what's the thing where people send money to just a random cause, and people raising money?
Oh, like a charity.
No, what's the thing? GoFundMe.
GoFundMe,
Like, did you see they started a GoFundMe in Chicago this week to buy out Mitch Trubisky's contract?
Shut the fuck God.
$58 million, and people are already contributing towards it. They want to buy out his contract.
Like if we I think Chicago has like 16, 17 million people. So they figure if we can get everybody to donate at least $5, we can get
this guy out of here. So this is an attempt at the greatest Nigerian scheme of all time. I don't want to hear anything about it. I feel like my Nigerian brothers and sisters get a bad rap, but sometimes your people be out here wilding out like this. But they created a name for him and everything. So this is the type of bullshit, though, that gets people being like, oh, my God, we got to save him. It's like a white guilt trigger activity where it's like there's somebody from Africa in need in space.
And you know white people love space.
And they also love feeling like they can save us, too.
And Nigerians love to take money from people, too.
It's like this is the perfect remedy.
Yeah. That's one of my homeboys who's Nigerian. He says, we're the best and the worst people at the same time.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what.
Because they got some of the most doctors. They got all that.
If
but
you
they also have
ever get the opportunity to go to a Nigerian wedding, you got to go to it.
I've never been to Nigeria.
You got to do it. It's incredible. They in there drinking pints of Crown Royal.
Oh, really?
Hennessy, all the best alcohols. But they in there with pure cash just dopping it up on the folks that's getting married. Like, you know how we bring like a little envelope, gift card, a nice financial contribution. No, they bringing cash money up in there.
They're making it rain up in there.
They're making it rain in the best possible way you've ever seen in your life. They aren't sticking it in G-strings and stuff like that. Right. They are making it rain. Dollar dances like through the ceiling.
Damn.
Speaking of which, I'm most certainly making my fiance do a dollar dance at the thing.
You gonna pepper out.
Go dance with these people. Get this money.
Go get this paper and quit playing.
Yeah.
I'm tired, man. I've danced for 3 hours.
We need it. You know how much this costs?
Do you want to go on a honeymoon next week? We need some cash.
I guess I do got to do that part too. I didn't think about that.
Oh, honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, moving right along from the greatest Nigerian scheme of the recent past. I got good news for you. Speaking of marriage, Dennis Quaid got engaged.
Shout out to Dennis Quaid, man.
Yeah, man, good for him. Marriage is a beautiful thing, man. Welcome back to the club. I'm sure he's been married at least 2 times before this.
At the minimum, right?
However, the 65-year-old actor proposed to his girlfriend, Laura Savoy, after several months of dating.
No.
Laura.
Let me give you some background before you even go farther. This would be his 4th marriage.
Oh, 4th.
He just got divorced December 2018.
I guess so. Once you get a taste of honey, you don't want to stop eating it, I guess. The 65-year-old actor proposed to his 26-year-old girlfriend.
She trying to come up.
She did come up. She's like, what is she in medical school? They say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, she out here getting it either way.
She ain't trying to. She trying to them student loans.
Yeah, that's true. Dennis don't take care of them.
Yeah,
Dennis doing those Capital One commercials too, so we getting some bread.
We'll knock that out real quick, baby. Let's go on. Let's get.
Dennis looks like he's got his face pulled back about 10 times though, because he shouldn't be looking.
He does look real weathery.
Yeah, he looked like he looking like somebody's holding the side of his face from behind his head.
I know he's married to Meg Ryan.
Yeah, I do that. I did know that. Meg Ryan, I haven't seen her in years. She's still alive? I know she's still alive, but like, she's still alive, like where it counts.
Like in movies.
Like she used to make movies like 20 years ago, and then she just stopped.
Yeah, last thing she did was Curb Your Enthusiasm in 2009.
I remember that. That's coming back too.
Oh no, take that back. She was in Ithaca, 2016.
That's coming back soon too. By the way,
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he's rebooting it.
Yeah.
I'm not rebooting it. Just bringing it back.
Just keeping it going.
Yeah.
It's like a forever show.
Yeah, it's not like a lineal show.
Going back to Dennis Quaid though.
Yes.
I can't even communicate with like 21-year-olds. Like, do you get to a point when it comes back around and everything balances off again?
No, I think there's no way this can work.
I don't think there's any way it couldn't work though, because clearly you know what she's here for.
Paper, pay off them loans for her.
No, I don't even think it's about that. She's here for the lifestyle.
And to be around all this shit.
Yeah, she's here for the lifestyle.
Yeah, because no way, man.
You're not relating to a 65-year-old.
Not at all. Not at all. And he just like, shit, if I could just keep it around for my last 15 years of my twilight years, I'll be good to go. Only bad part with her, the only thing that he has to worry about is if she gets to the point where she like, fuck this, I'm now in these circles, and now I see Brad Pitt, and I can get at him. Not necessarily Brad Pitt, but someone along those lines where she's got access to him now, and she's like, your old ass is 70 years old now. I'm 31.
Yeah.
I can catch me one. Now I'm in a circle.
That's true.
And she's and because it's hard at that age, you're still evolving as a person. Dennis Quaid is gonna be who the fuck he gonna be for the rest of his life right now. He's the man he's always gonna be.
Yes, he is.
She's gonna be evolving and learning herself, and she may get to the point like, dude, I ain't fucking with this no more. I evolved and did something else. I moved a different way now.
Yeah.
And I think in general, that is the hardest thing if you're going to date someone that much younger than you. Particularly only in their 20s, though. After a certain age, I say after 35 is all kind of equals out, kind of at that point. But if you date somebody in their 20s, you got to know that this motherfucker may not be the same person in 5 years.
Yeah. No. That's why, despite the challenges of potentially, maybe, definitely almost being an old dad, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't even think it'll be that old by that time, though. Like 56, 57.
So
like
by the time the kids graduate high school?
No, midway through high school. Midway through college.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I'll be all right.
Yeah. You be straight?
Yeah, I'm cool.
It won't be yeah. It's the alternative with some other shit.
Like 42?
No, I'm saying the alternative of having somebody you 23, 24.
Oh, I couldn't know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. What's the alternative?
No, those children wouldn't have stood a chance.
No.
Yeah.
It'd be a blessing if they made it. It wouldn't be like
They would have defeated the odds. messing with me.
Yeah, it's always weird to me that because I think it's almost like both of the people are using each other at that point, and and he doesn't feel like it's necessarily love. It feels like you said, she's for status. He's because I want somebody young that can.
Man, I think it works out.
I guess if you got the arrangement like that, it's all good. But
I think
the younger person, regardless, is always gonna flip it up. Just like what's my homeboy from he is in Kick-Ass, and his old lady is like 30 years older than him.
Oh yeah. The dude, I know
dude Kick-Ass.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah,
it's like
she hella old too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, my mom might fight me. She that old. Like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's different.
This broad went to high school with me. And then my mom would literally say, "This broad went to high school with me."
Yeah, I could see that.
This broad went to high school with me. What are you doing? Oh, Mom, I love her. Well, you need to love and leave her.
Speaking of which, I know this is near and dear to your heart, so I just want to give you your room to have your moment here. Pastor David Wilson.
Let's go.
This is I don't see how, if you're in the circle of listening to this show, you don't know about this buffoonery.
And the part of the reason I was upset that we didn't record last week is because this dropped right before the day we would have recorded in general. Shout out to the pastor. Also, let me read a couple of people tweeted us asking us if we were going to cover this.
Okay.
They hit the Twitter account.
Here we are.
Are y'all going to cover this pastor that's out here giving up all the goods and getting murked on? What kind of lifestyle do we live where a man eating that good got to get told on? Hey, man.
I think that's a valid question.
Are we hype beasting to the point now? Like I would also say, I think it's corny even when dudes do dumb shit like that, putting out shit where it's intimate moments, regardless of the person's wrong or right, whatever. It's not you naturally just don't fuck with them. If you don't want to be with somebody that's with somebody else, why are you fucking putting it out?
Exactly.
I don't like it when I see dudes doing that shit. But this shit was funny.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, he's down. If I wouldn't advise you if you're on the corporate
yes,
internet,
skip it.
If you want to see it, and you only need to see 5 seconds, and you see that he is fully engaged.
Yes.
The clip is a full minute, but you can see he's fully engaged in this oral situation. The sad part about the game is that some of y'all cats out here hating on the pastor because y'all don't love y'all lady enough to be doing it like that.
Oh man, what? Well, speak your mind, brother. Get it off.
Hey, look, I'm saying this. Dang man, pastor out there going. No, y'all hating because y'all don't love y'all lady enough to go hard like that.
Can you imagine how hard his church popped this weekend though?
Yo, shout out to Texarkana, Texas. That's where he's from.
Yeah.
I'm not religious at all. I would definitely put that on my bucket list to visit his church.
I would go soon.
Yeah, like, yo, my thing is, and I'm putting money in the collection plate, and not the coins, the kind that's crispy. Or the time, what he saying? Coming to me, the kind that crinkles.
Yes.
Yeah, like, how do we get to a? I mean, fuck it.
But if you at this
anything's
point,
open in society at this point.
I'm just gonna say at this point, hey man, listen. I've never in my life been one to begrudge a man for indulging in what he wants to indulge in. You know, I guess there's a point when you're young, you're like, man, I ain't doing that. That was a foolish young mind speaking.
Not understanding.
This brother was down there like the Submariner.
Deep sea diving.
Like he had them little wings on his feet.
But the girl, did you see the girl who downed him out?
No.
So they, I'm gonna show you a picture of the young lady that downed him out.
You see, his family is saying they don't know if the tape is real, though.
Oh no, we can't do this now. We're not gonna go that conspiracy. Why? We're not gonna do that, right?
They said that they don't know if the tape is real.
Oh no, we're not gonna do that, folks. That's real. That is your that is your family member putting in work
Okay, let's make this be a real life scenario.
Okay.
Just put this on somebody that you loosely know, not like an uncle or a father or anything like that. Just like, I don't know, like you just turn on TV, like you see your little league, you see your little league coach out there. You gonna be like, whoa, but you gonna kind of be like, yeah, you know what, I can see that, because there's nobody that you get caught on tape living that type of life that is just like, I didn't think he had that in him.
He's just like, I can see that.
Anybody that you know, that you have or have not ever seen on tape doing anything in your life, you kind of like, yeah,
I ain't surprised.
I can see that.
So, and keep in mind, so now her name is Corinthia, too. And for all our biblical scholars, there is a chapter of the Bible called Corinthians.
There he is.
We cannot make this type of. Her name is Corinthia Edwards. If you want to look her up on Facebook, she has dimed him out because I have no idea why she dimed him out. Supposedly, she's claiming she didn't; that her cousin did it. Then someone else is claiming they did it because he tried to holler at them, and she got the tape, and he used that as his business card, allegedly. Now, I don't know how. I don't know. See, that's when it gets real deep.
Wait a minute. Use what as a business card?
That video is his business card. He sent it to another young lady. It's like, yo, this is what I'm about.
Oh, he's advertising his services.
Yeah.
I thought I was like to say, wait a minute.
It's his business card. That's what I'm saying. It's his business card.
This is the most aggressive.
Yeah. So
cat
I don't know
of
if
all
that's
time.
true, but this is the funniest thing, man. He just got to stay low.
Okay.
He just got to stay low at this point.
I mean, it looks like he's already doing that.
Yeah.
He's
I'm just saying, I mean, he's got to like.
If he gets any lower than that, he's gonna be eating something else on tape.
I would say he need to go like on some like I'm going to Mecca type shit, like
the end of Belly.
Yes.
Like I'm going to Africa.
Yes. That'd be your best option, right?
Pastor Wilson's Adventures in Africa sounds like a movie from 1973.
Oh, like it would be like the continuation of Shaft in Africa.
Yes.
Pastor in Africa.
You know somebody's already made like a black.com tape or something. Pastor Wilson's Continuing Adventures.
Hey, you're right though. You're right though. You're definitely right. Shout out to Corinthia, man. So then there's people saying she was promised a lead role in the choir for the church, and when it didn't happen, allegedly decided to leak it. Pastor Wilson's family is denying that it's him. Corinthia saying it is. So she didn't get a spot in the choir. So we don't know what this is.
And now she's all fired up about it. I don't know. This is the nastiest, messiest church story of all time. It's I'm not gonna necessarily say it's unnecessary. I'm just gonna say that it's getting out there in the world that it don't need to be in. Now let's talk about something unnecessary here real quick, and this is coming from our backyard here. With I don't know how many people have heard about it, but
it's national now.
Yeah, it's a big story. But football coach fired after suspended star plays in teammate's uniform. It happened at Cardinal Ritter. Cardinal Ritter Prep? Cardinal Ritter
Prep, yeah,
Cardinal Ritter Preparatory. College prep is what I was looking for. It happened here. So the coach of Cardinal Ritter did a switcheroo.
Like people, this is like your after school TV special, or like on the episode of Saved by the Bell where they like, you know what? It's a great idea, Slater. We just change you out and put your jersey on somebody else.
Yeah, it's like the Bella Twin switch. You know what I'm saying? So the kid Jackson, this kid was suspended for a game.
From the state championships the previous year.
Yeah, from one game he was suspended.
Now research did what he did it for. He roughed the kicker.
Yes.
Now, for you to get suspended for another game, that must have been an egregious hit on the kicker after the extra point.
You had to spin him.
Yeah, that's it. No, not a punter. This is the kicker, the place kicker.
Yeah.
On the extra point.
So, because of this, he was ineligible. And what they did was they had him put on a different jersey from a player that was supposed to be on the team. Another team's jersey. Had him wear sleeves to cover up his tattoos or something like that. And they found out that it was the wrong player. that this was the guy that wasn't supposed to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
And
they was playing outside the city. They were playing Nazareth up in Chicago.
Yeah,
so they thought they could get away with it.
And it just caused a shitstorm, to say the least.
This is incompetence. You did one game that had nothing to do even it wasn't even in your state. It was a non-con out of state.
Yeah.
You could have just set him down.
This is arrogance, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so then, you know what I'm saying? What happens is that the funniest part about it is his name's Brandon Gregory, which is just made me look, and I was like, BG,
I thought the same thing when I
was
saw
like,
his
what
name.
you doing coaching?
I was like, BG, what's going on?
Coaching high school football. But the coach stepped down. His coach got fired.
As he should have.
The whole coaching staff got fired.
As they should have.
The season got canceled.
As they should have.
That's the part I don't know if I agree with.
I agree with the season being canceled.
Because all them other kids,
they knew about it though.
But
you knew about it. I know it's messed up, but what are you supposed to do about it?
To me, it feels like 8 men out. It feels like what happened with the Black Sox, where you had a few people that could have been in the know, but you had a bunch of people there, teenage kids. It's like, man, I'm not finna say nothing and fool around and lose my shot. Mm-hmm. It was like a reverse Hamilton thing.
But what are they supposed to do though? That team was already really, really good. Playoffs was getting ready to start. They was going to take away all their games and start them out as 0-7. Mm-hmm. Now that 0-17, which would have been the number 1 seed, is now at the 8th seed, and now they're going to play the number 1 seed in the first round. So that's not fair either.
Oh, you know what? The thing that hurt this entire thing though is that Cardinal Ritter is underneath the Archdiocese, and they're not finna play.
They can't afford to.
Yeah.
Look, every day they trying to fight off allegations.
Yeah, they're not dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's the. You know, the crazy thing about it is how do you think this impacts that kid, though?
I mean, how dope is he? I know. He's pretty good. I know because he rushed for like 105.
Yeah, he's bad.
And like 2 touchdowns against that. And that was a team that won state in Illinois.
Oh, no, he's bad.
He's bad.
Oh,
yeah, he's
bad.
only a junior, though, so he's fine.
Well, I mean, do you think it's going to impact his recruiting at all?
Not if he that dope.
Yeah.
Look, they didn't let a lot of sketchier cats get away with a lot more sketchier stuff than that. It's these cats that's been like, he might have raped her.
No.
Did he? No, that's a coach. It's a coach that's saying right now. Did he?
Do you have proof? Yeah, that's the problem, man. That's the problem that happens when you start to prioritize outcomes and stuff over what the real point of what sport is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
that was pure. Like shout out to my boy Thomas. I was like, dude, why would you do? He's like, dude, that was just pure ego.
Yeah. True.
Pure ego. You gonna changed it, and you made it a freshman, and everybody like Sam Morris, and think about the other team is scouting you, and they like, damn, we couldn't even scout for this dude because he's a freshman.
We got nothing to answer for. He's like the next Adrian Peterson. No, he's not. He's
a junior that was starting last year as a sophomore.
That's going to be a D1 running back.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of blood on a lot of people's hands here.
Yeah.
I just.
AD had the AD step down.
Who was the state championship basketball coach?
Yeah,
was coaching Chris Carrawell and Lauren Woods and Jahadi White and all them. He's a legend.
Yeah,
and had to take the fall.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I mean, I work for a high school athletic program still part time, and so I'm around those kids. I'm around programs and stuff like that, and I just kind of look at high school athletes and remember what it was like to be one and remember being in that age group. And I still just find it kind of hard to put the cancel on the kids too. Because a lot of times high school kids just going to do what they told. I mean, think back to what we was talking about when that dude got his dreads cut so he could compete. In any other situation, he ain't letting that happen. But when they in that situation, they still is kids.
But you got to think about it at the same time. So who's going to come, if you fire the whole staff, who's going to come in and coach these kids, too?
Oh, man, you could, in a situation like this where it's high-profile a thing as this and an opportunity for a position like that, you could have got somebody to come in and did that.
At the last minute?
Yeah, easy.
I mean, they don't, but like I said, do they not make, and so you had them just play the games used to make the playoffs. How about, you saying you'd be fine with that?
I'm not one that ever believes in taking athletics away from kids because that's the way you keep those kids in school.
Yeah, but this is Cardinal Ritter. This is not like Vashon.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I'm just talking about the precedent of what it is. If you take, just because it's a college prep Listen, man, Cardinal Ritter is about as loosely defined of a private school as you gonna get.
It's
to.
the lowest you gonna.
You
like one step from for sure.
It ain't nothing for them kids.
I know all y'all Cardinal Ritter people that listen are gonna be like,
but I'm not saying anything against like the prestige of the school or anything.
But they're not bringing out the best of scholars out of there. We'll say that.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do all that, but I mean, I'm just gonna say that no matter where it's at or what it is, it's not like private schools across the board haven't had plenty of issues with kids being done with school and athletics taken away from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like that just happens. So I don't know. I'm just always wary against punishing innocent folks, but sometimes you victims of circumstance, and that's what it feels like this is.
Yeah, I mean, man.
But one dude, like one coach. You know what I'm saying? That kid knew he wasn't supposed to be doing that shit, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, him, cool.
Suspend him for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Throw him out the program if you want to.
See, he can't come back to the school either, right? You think?
I don't know.
No, I'm saying, like, as a school, you can't keep him there, right? I'm just saying, like...
It depends on I mean, it seems like they went to all the extremes in every other way.
There's a good redemption story there, though, for the next coach that comes in.
Sure.
Because they're going to be good again still. They still got on them cats.
It could be a Disney Plus movie. So, I mean, it's a hell of a job to take on if you want to take it on. I mean, you have to pick up the pieces. I guarantee you, I bet you that next coach ain't going to be a brother, though.
You don't think so? You look like that. You don't think he'll be a brother at all?
Nigga, please. Nope. The Vatican gonna send somebody from Rome to come over here and oversee it.
You be like, he only coached soccer.
It's gonna be like that. Nah, they gonna send over an overseer. It's gonna be like that dude on a Red Dragon.
with the little whip thing.
Yeah. He's gonna be standing over there. He's gonna be like the mascot, but he's gonna be like, "Don't do nothing that ain't right."
Look, I ain't even coaching.
The Pope has sent me himself.
Yeah, and then people were like, "Oh, this is so messed up." All these other schools are probably doing it too. And I was like, I don't know about that. It's a lot of stuff you can accuse a lot of schools of doing, but to change out a player and give him another name, and the thing was messed up. He's leading the damn warm-ups for the game. How's a freshman leading the warm-ups for the game and he's a captain?
This is the dumbest.
This is the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, these are the biggest. These are the idiots of our time right here. So all the attention they get and everything that's happening is.
What about the coach? You think can he get another job?
Yeah, I mean,
how long has he got to sit down though?
He might have to move.
Oh, he can't stay local. You saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a big PR hit to take.
To say that you're hiring that coach that did that.
Yeah, I mean, unless like they reactivate like Wellston or something, and they just like
fuck it, we need a coach.
Yeah, we just need somebody. Period. Like we just need somebody who's ever seen a football game before. Nah, I think you got to move if you're gonna do that. It's gonna be hard to get a gig dealing with that type of stuff. Like
this is easily Googleable too.
Yeah, man. Like that's Like as a dude that works in HR, I'll be like, hold up, wait a minute.
You did what?
Yeah. So yeah, real talk. But speaking of you did what, I'm gonna leave this one in your hands. This is in your wheelhouse. Nicki Minaj hasn't been keeping it 100.
Oh, man,
surprisingly,
for a long time. The straight line saying she had a song with Adele coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And Adele's people was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. We ain't even met with you. She was like, it's supposed to be dropping soon. So I'm like, I wonder if she's trying to do some like. Remember back in the day, and some of y'all don't even know, or maybe back in the day, people used to take like someone else singing the hook, putting it over their beat, and then they rap over it, and then put it out. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't sanctioned. It was like more like a mixtape type of thing. It wasn't like they were trying to sell it. It was just what it was. I wonder if that's what Nicki Minaj was trying to do.
I don't know, man.
And being saying like it was on my mixtape. I was saying I wasn't saying it was with Adele. I was saying it was.
No, because she said Adele made me swear to secrecy that I'm not allowed to tell anybody that I'm working with her. And we already shot a video, and it's an epic song.
Shit.
Defender.
I can't defend her. She just straight lied then. Unless.
And then.
The bag didn't show up, and then her people was like, nah, we ain't got nothing. You supposed to give us $3 million for that.
And then. Came back in after it got put out there and said, oh my God, guys, with laughing emojis. I thought everyone would clearly know that I was being sarcastic.
No. It's hard.
We should believe this as much as we believe that she retired.
Yeah. And then she came out, she came out this week and said, oh, no, I was just saying I was tired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe she married for real. She just got married today.
I don't think there's anything real about her.
Literally. Yeah, like body-wise, too.
You said it. I was just going to let it be out there. But, yeah. Ain't nothing real about her. Everybody know a Nicki Minaj, too.
Dive into this now.
Everybody know one who be out here stunting and fronting. Everything's popping. It's like the ones that you only see on Instagram when they doing something crazy. Mm-hmm. Like Nicki Minaj seems like the type of chick that, like a regular chick that don't got nothing, that's gonna take pictures of standing on them plane steps when that plane not going nowhere.
The taking them pictures at the jet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jet setting, real bitches do real things.
Tagging their breakfasts in exotic places when they 10 minutes around the corner from the crib.
They had a nice little brunch spot around the corner, but saying, I'm in Turks and Caicos right now. Mm-hmm. Doing, real bitches do real things.
And then you see them later on that night, like, damn, what you doing here? And they like in Walgreens trying to get back to the crib.
Like, it ain't me, that's my twin.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't know you had a twin.
Everybody knows a stunner and a fronter.
Yeah.
Everybody knows one. All right, man. So let's get to America's favorite segment.
Let's get it.
It's time for This Week in Racism. And so for this week, we're going in a concerning direction. Mm-hmm. Some things that a thing that's happening in the National Football League that makes me be concerned. Either it's a really bad thing, which wouldn't be a surprise in that league, or it's just a revolution. But let's go back in time a little bit first. Okay. So let's remember. I don't know if this happened to you, but you were here. It happened in real life to everybody. A couple years ago, you started looking around and you was like, "Damn, when all the white girls start getting ass? Mm-hmm. What happened there? Yeah, what is this? This isn't the white America I grew up in. Yeah. Anything like that? Well, I've been having that same feeling on Sundays because I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone watching the NFL now. All the great quarterbacks are black, and the dude is leading the league in rushing is white.
He's on pace to break his record too, isn't he?
He's on pace to get just a stupid amount of yards overall.
Yeah, he's on pace to break Chris Johnson's record.
Just ridiculous touches over your yardage. But we're talking about Christian McCaffery, the Carolina Panthers, who admittedly is from a DNA line that is
the face of
insane. I mean, like
he's two things. He's the face of white privilege, as well as the face of
the face of white privilege is Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman's children. Yes. This guy earned his way to college.
But I'm saying you having all the abilities because your dad is there and the money too on top of it.
No, the double is his mom too.
Oh, that's right. His mom played ball too.
And his grandpa.
Yeah. Oh, he's got generational.
He's got like 4 Olympians.
Because it's like, 3 other brothers or something like that too?
Yeah, his brother's a quarterback in Michigan, and then there's an even younger one that's coming along too. His dad's a Super Bowl champion wide receiver. His mom was a All-American track runner, I believe. His grandfather was an Olympian. Like, he's from the best stock of all time. He's like Secretariat.
They just bred him.
He's like a mini white Secretariat. And he's swole, too. He's swole, but the thing that concerns me about this is that this isn't traditional racism, per se, because Christian McCaffrey's getting it done. He's just a baller. And he's taken 2 of my fantasy teams to untold heights of success so far this fall. But I was conflicted when I had to take a white guy number 1 in the fantasy draft. But I said, you know what? I got to do it, man. This dude's incredible. And now he's come out, he's been better than ever. So the question I ask is that we have this every few years. You still got people that swear that Mike Allstott was godly because he was a white dude that was running the ball.
Yeah, but that was more short yardage situations.
Short yardage situations, fullback. But
what was the other guy that people love from Cleveland?
If you go back further, I'm going to go back even further still. Mm-hmm. John Riggins had 110 touchdowns in his career for the Redskins. Mm-hmm. And the dude you're thinking about is Peyton Hillis.
That's the one that was like, y'all tripping.
He was on the cover of Madden.
Yeah, y'all tripping. I was like, oh, no, y'all tripping with Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis was nice at Arkansas. Yeah. But he was a fullback as well that they turned into a halfback.
And it was like, no, y'all can't really believe this is happening.
McCaffery, if anything, is underrated because he's white. Like,
I agree.
If he was black, oh boy. But here's the thing I'm gonna say: is McCaffery gonna get to that point where brothers outside the Charlotte area are wearing his jersey?
No.
Why not?
I just don't see anybody wearing a white man's jersey.
A white running back jersey.
Running back jersey. They'll wear Brady or they'll wear Peyton Manning or
J.J. Watt.
Drew Brees.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody like that, but not a white running back.
Because this is infringement.
Yeah.
This is like one of the vegetables that we have that belongs to us. They don't even make white running backs on Madden when you generate the class. White guys.
They won't even make him.
They don't get created at running back and cornerback.
Well, Jason Sewell was the last one, right? Last starting.
But they won't. I mean, you've got a couple of white safeties.
But I'm talking about cornerback.
Yeah, no. Hell no. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? You got a couple of white safeties. Eric Weddle, Harrison Smith.
You're naming them. That's how you know how many there is.
Oh, there's a few more. I'm missing a few of them here, but there's a few more out there. But they'll lay that boom on your ass, too.
Oh, yeah. You had Lynch back in the day.
John Lynch was an assassin.
Yeah.
If you go back even further than that, there was a lot of them back in the day. But I get concerned if McCaffery is going to start now having people be like, you know what, I can do that too. And we look up 15 years and we got integration.
On the skill side.
Yes.
Never
Well, it's already there, wide receiver.
Yeah. But that's because of the Patriots. There's only one team that's really got white
That's
receivers.
because of Steve Largent.
Steve Largent. Yeah.
I mean, Don Hutton and
But we
Raymond
talking about
Berry
in
and
the
guys
modern
like
area,
that.
though.
But yeah.
If Nick Saban ain't recruiting it, then it ain't gonna really happen.
Oh, so it's not real yet.
Yeah, it's not real. When Nick Saban or Dabo Sweeney recruits a white running back,
imagine? Well, Dabo have white wide receivers, so he might not be too far off.
No, but
I think Dabo has one.
no.
I think there's one at Clemson right now.
Let me see this. I don't think he has a white running back.
I believe so.
You got Etienne. Then you got Feaster, Drencher. Yeah, no, ain't none of these guys white.
Okay.
Andre, no, they don't have a picture for him. I know that's not.
Okay. So, it's interesting.
But if Nick Saban starts recruiting white running backs, that's when you know it's a paradigm shift.
If there's any program in the country that I would look at and be like, you know what, y'all come on with it. Y'all have one, do it, and he just is real.
That's what I'm talking about.
It would be LSU.
Ooh, yeah. No, but they had Hester.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about like a Brett Favre running back, like a country grizzled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like where he's getting every down back.
Yeah, he's getting busy.
It's Alabama too, though, man.
When's
the last time Alabama had a white running back? Probably since Paul Bear Bryant.
Yeah, since they allowing black people to go to Alabama.
Yeah, as soon as Paul Bear Bryant was the school let him recruit black people, ain't been a white person running back since then.
Yeah, well, that's fair. But then all jokes aside, Christian McCaffrey's a killer. And I wanted to bring this up for the fact that it's just I feel like we don't accept it because we think that he gets props because of what he is. But he's just a killer on that field,
and he's not getting props because of what he is. Though.
Exactly.
That's the messed up part. It's like it's a circle.
It's a reverse circle.
Yeah.
It's like we don't. I don't want to fight for props for the black quarterback, which is due, which should happen because I think Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the league right now. But I think that you got to give that boy his credit because if he was anything else, we'd be all over him.
The other interesting part is watching run for only 65 yards. So Cat's gonna be like, "Told you."
But then he runs for 65 yards and he catches for 120.
No, but I'm talking about he just has
he's had 2 games this year where he's rushed for under 60 yards. But
bonkers.
But he scores and he just catches a bunch of balls instead. You can't stop him. So that's been This Week in Racism. We're going to take a break real quick. We're going to be right back with our main scenario of the evening.
I want to dedicate this song to a special lady in my life. Perry.
Oh, you are so sweet, Jerome.
Not you, John. I'm talking about Sheba, baby. This one goes out to you, girl. For all my years and fears and my tears. Ooh, ooh. Oh, well, yeah, girl, sure you're right. Oh, yeah. Girl, I'm spending my dimes, wasting my time. Talking till I'm black and blue. Oh, can you see? I wanna get back to you. Kick the car door open and I step down to you. Oh, you can break me, mold me, hold me. Whatever it takes to get you.
Welcome back to Scenario. We're ready for our Scenario of the Week. Let's go, man.
All right, man. So this is a little piece of news fodder that came across my desk, and it was I was immediately like, wow, I can't even imagine this in my world. But Wendy Williams, of all people, this week came out that she took her son to the strip club where she taught him how to make it rain. I had to sit there and I pictured, and I was like, Wendy Williams probably is the most extra mother of all time.
Yeah, by far.
Like in history. So I'm like, this doesn't surprise me. But just the idea of discussing something like that with my mother, or even the fact, I'm sure 1,000% sure my mother doesn't know what it means to make it rain. And I'm all good with that. My mom's probably more worried about where it's gonna rain at next, and if there's a possibility of a tornado. She'll lose her mind on the other side of that. But so she breaks down how she said, I gotta take my son to the strip club and basically teach him how to get a lap dance and then how to make it rain. Where she critiques him for saying, oh, he was just dropping the dollars on the ground. And I told him, do it again. And then said, what's wrong with you? You got to make it rain. And I'm just like, what the? And it's just like, in that moment, I just drifted off into space, just thinking about envisioning myself in one of the many gentleman establishments that I've stepped into in my life and picturing going through with my bird, which is on another level of crazy. It's like maybe the most incomprehensible thing I've ever thought of in my life. I couldn't imagine. I think that might be the furthest reach that I could imagine. But I try to start thinking about stuff that was like, what else would just be something that I'm just flat ass not doing with my mom?
I'm definitely not going to strip club with my mom.
No. There's no way.
Like, and
I don't even want to be in a place where a strip club is like nearby with my mom's.
Yeah, I don't even want her to be like, even like, hey, we can just get something to eat there. I don't even want that either.
No, I don't know. No.
I mean, it's not. I mean, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Why don't we just grab something to eat there?
No, thank you.
No, I'm good.
I'm straight. Like, we don't have to eat. Eating's overrated.
Yeah.
Go get some of this seagull and some of these sea urchins or something before I go do that. What else? On a much lesser level, I don't want to go buy no shoes with my mom's because I know my mom's be counting my money. Like,
you say your mom do?
Yeah, she'd be counting my money. Like, she like, what are you buying? You don't need that. You need to be putting this away for that, and that.
And while she's trying to school you on.
And while she's right, I don't want to hear all that because I'm out here trying to live my life. I'm trying to live my old young years. The last
little bit you got left.
Yeah. What else? I don't really. You said you had something you said.
I was saying that on top of that is that I'm not trying to do no long-term trips with her, like long trips in the car.
Like, why is that? Like, what is y'all dynamic?
It's just this my mom's just gonna bug the shit out of me, man. Just the whole time, man, about whatever.
Like, I could do. I'm cool. My mom doesn't really bother me about that. My mom's more or less. She's the person that hangs on to the thing in the car, like over her head, like that little.
She'll do that for a whole ride.
That little handle, like anytime that you like pick the car up, getting close to like 80 or so, she start holding on like we're about to go into outer space. I'll be like, your arm gonna get tired, fall off. Like, you look like you on the subway. You're like, I feel like I'm on the subway. Like, okay,
here we go.
Yeah. What else? What else don't I want to do? Probably not hit the liquor store. Like, I could get some liquor at the grocery store, but the liquor store itself, that's just that's not the place. Like, I think the thing to me is more or less is like, I can kind of see, like, with my father, I feel like I can go wherever. Like, it's good. Like, I don't really care. Like, it's whatever. We can do whatever.
It makes sense.
But with my mom's, nah, man. Like, there's things you don't want to do with your girl just because you want to make sure you can continue to do them yourself. You don't want to find out that like it's too much fun, or like you really enjoying it, and then like she want to always do it when you go do it.
And you're like, no, I'm good.
That was a one-off. That's not how it's supposed to work all the time.
We're not supposed to be doing this like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know what happens so that you don't be acting crazy when I'm off doing it. Like that's a different thing. But because I mean, like your wife is just kind of like it's kind of like your second mom.
Yeah, 100%.
And I still get a little confused about where they decide that that's going to be their role.
Oh, is it a torchbearer situation for you now?
I just want to understand why it is that they feel like that's how they need to be. Like, why do you need to be a second mom? Why can't you just be an advanced girlfriend like you started? I mean, moms was moms from the very beginning. You don't have to, like, adopt this. I don't need this at this point. But they all would be like, yeah, you do. And I don't think it has anything to do with us. I think it has to do with them.
And what they do.
Yeah, and what they want to deal with.
I can see that. I can 100% see that.
So that begs the question, do your girl really care about you like that? Or does she just not want to have to deal with no craziness for her own sake?
Probably option two. That's sad. I know. That's the sad part about it, man.
Like,
that's the sad part about it.
like,
yeah, that's the sad part.
Because it's a common denominator amongst dudes. You just be like, when you think about when you're ready to do something, every dude I know that's married, everyone I know that's married, advanced relationship, however you want to categorize it, it's like, boy, I want to do this, but is it worth it?
Yes, that's how it is all the time.
Because I don't feel like getting complained at. Which harkens back to decisions you made as a kid when you like,
do I want to hear my mom mouth about this?
And you just is like, in both situations, you just make different, varying decisions of the same thing. And if you go back even earlier to that, do I want to get my ass whooped? There's a chance of doing this, I get my ass whooped.
Hey, that's real though.
Like, we've been living our entire life worried about the reaction and the potential stress or ramifications of what could come from one interaction with a person that, well, I guess you kind of choose to have your lady in your life. But, you know, eventually.
Yeah, your mother is different.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's real, though. Like, would you? Yeah, that's real. I didn't even think about it like that. That's real.
These are the things that happen. Like, regardless of whether in 99.9% of people's lives, it doesn't start with their moms in a shake joint. But
that's blown way out of proportion. Like doing shake drum with your mom.
Most of our actions in life are based around, do we want to get complained at or not?
Yeah. And you know what? I wonder even more sometimes, like, is there a possibility that we could be not ready for, I guess, the new millennium of mothers that would take their sons to the strip club?
I don't think that that's a regular thing that's going to be happening.
You don't think so?
No. No.
You said not at all.
No. Hell no.
It's not there's no
not
possibility.
This far north of Alabama or Florida. No.
There's no way possible?
I would hope not. Maybe Arkansas. I don't know.
Why Arkansas?
Because Arkansas is basically like north of Alabama.
I mean, I just don't want it. And then even I wouldn't even want to go like Miami or Vegas, like we said. Like, I'm not doing no Miami and my mom's. Why?
Labor Day weekend with your moms in Miami?
Not doing it.
You gonna hit like ATL with your moms for like a Saturday night turn up?
Not doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Not doing it.
I mean, and I think in most people's cases, their moms don't want to do that shit with them either.
Right. My mom don't want to hang out with me like that.
Yeah, no.
Why? She be like, "Fuck wrong with you? Fuck you doing? You don't want to hang out with me like that." You're right.
I think that's the difference between your moms and your girl right there. Your girl want to hang out with you.
Your mom just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
I
I have serious doubts if your girl really wants to know if you're okay, or she just wants you not to cause her any trouble.
And that's two different things. That's two totally different things.
I would really like to do a deeper dive into what our purpose is in the lives of our significant others. What are we here for? You always hear a man's a provider, but in this day and age, it ain't like we're the only one. That's almost outdated. That's one of those selective things that like to get held on to. Like they like, man's a provider. I'd be like, shit, you making more money than me, probably.
You way more money than me.
You out here balling.
There's nothing I can do for you.
I mean, why are you dealing with me?
You asking in general, like, what's the purpose of this?
Like, you must generally really like me. There must be something about me that you really enjoy.
Or as the great Chris Rock said, they just give up. And they just give up, like, fuck it.
All right,
we want kids.
I gotta do this stuff eventually.
Yeah, like, fuck.
How does that make you feel? Like, as a dude, just like, you know what?
That you were her last choice?
Me personally, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, you were our last choice. Oh well.
I'm all right.
I mean, you were the last man standing. Fuck it.
I mean, it's like I guess your girl's kind of like your best friend in a weird way.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way possible it can
I mean, you would go to the strip club with your best friend usually, right?
I don't know. Some things you don't do with all your friends.
Yes.
Some friends are some for certain things.
Some friends for Tuesdays and some for Saturdays.
Yeah, that's two different sets of people that you hang out with. You know, certain homeboys you ain't gonna take certain places, and vice versa. They ain't gonna take you certain spots with them because they own some shit, and or you be like, oh, I'm gonna be on some shit, or whatever way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Not trips with my mom. A lot of it trips, man. And I gotta have my own room and shit, man. I'm not doing that Airbnb thing. No, I need to be like away from y'all. Y'all need to have your own place.
Yeah, y'all need to be able to live y'all life, and I need to be able to live.
Yeah. We can go to dinner. We can go out to eat. We can go do all the other stuff. I'm not trying to stay nowhere close to no. I don't give a fuck if it's 3 bedrooms together and one little like grotto or something. I'm good. I'll take my chances with the Radisson. if that's what's available.
But the long moral of the story is that no, we ain't going to just shred it up in the shake joint with our bird. And Wendy Williams, that's not normal.
No, and Wendy Williams is going through a lot with her divorce, and I think she just using her son kind of a little bit to kick it with too. That could be it as well, like a little bit of like, I mean, you want to go to a strip club? I kind of want to go out and do something, or you going out to do something like, fuck it, I'm rolling with you. And you kind of don't want to not want Wendy Williams to go with you because she's your mom and she's a hell of a plug probably to get into spots.
She gonna pay for everything.
Yeah, and she's a plug. Nobody knows who the fuck you are as Wendy Williams' son.
That's true.
She the plug. So
my mom is not the plug.
Yeah, so if your mom is the plug, you like, fuck. All right, well shit. Okay, well let's rock it out. Let's go. And you end up rolling.
Okay, well, God bless him. I'm sure that's a handful having to deal with that.
It definitely is a handful. You better believe it. You better believe it. But make sure y'all email us straightolc@gmail.com. We gonna come with this heat though with y'all. We had little setbacks before a comeback.
No setbacks. We just
scheduling all messed up.
Getting everything lined up so it launches the right way.
So yeah, make sure y'all hit us up. Voicemails, man. We want them voicemails.
Yeah.
It was a good time with everybody with their stories. Or whatnot.
Snitching stories, man.
Snitching stories were the best. I appreciate y'all for the snitching stories. So let's make anything y'all want to talk about going to voicemail, but let's really talk about the pastor.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard anything along these levels?
Would you accept your pastor living this life?
Or would you want to embrace your pastor more after this?
I don't know if embrace the pastor is the way you want to put it after that.
Make sure you hit it the voicemail 641-715-3900 and then hit that extension 769-558. Appreciate it, y'all. Give us a holler and we'll see y'all soon. Peace.